She's a living museum for us, and we are really trying to preserve the language.
This is Pretoria, the city of Tshwane, also known as the Jacaranda City because of thousands of jacaranda trees planted along parks and gardens. Pretoria is the capital city of South Africa, a city founded in 1855, about 165 years ago by Andries Pretorius. Look how beautiful my city is, guys. Even the view as you approach the Union buildings, let alone this topographic view of the city showing the entire demographics of the city outlay. This city is truly remarkable, guys. This city hosts an incredible number of 2.8 million people in population, the Central Bank of South Africa, and the second largest number of foreign embassies in the world after Washington, D.C. This here is the famous Union building, which forms the official seat of the South African government and, more importantly, the office of His Excellency, the President. Constructed in 1910 in a location that occupies the highest point of Pretoria, which further allows this facility to constitute as a national heritage site and an iconic landmark of Pretoria, as it is one of the most popular tourist attractions in the city. This building is surrounded by beautifully terraced gardens of indigenous plants, which encompasses various historical monuments of iconic public servants who had global impact as they strived towards fighting off the former apartheid government. This includes the statue of the legendary icon Utata Nelson Mandela, amongst others. It is in this garden where I found the most interesting history of a people who are famously known to be the very first to walk the face of the African continent. These are the Khoisan, or better yet known as the Khoisan people. No, maybe sizongena sizoza lapho. Sizongena sihlale la ngaphakathi.
So you can shoot that as you're going in, talking, and then you sit down, and then I'll bring it to you.
My brother, how's it, man? Good, my brother. I'm Sia. This is your boy, the village boy, Sia in the building. Guys, we are here in Union Building. It's happening. I hope you guys can hear me. This is my brother. I just met him here. My brother, what's your name again?
My name is Sam.
Sam.
Samuel.
Samuel.
Like the biblical Samuel.
All right.
That's my only name.
A prophetic name.
Well, it depends on how you look at it, but yeah, that's my name.
Wow. I'm with Samuel, guys. You said something. What language do you speak, man?
When we were greeting, I said righteous. That is Nama language. Khoisan languages.
All right.
Hello, Sawubona.
Am I pronouncing it right? Khoisan.
Righteous.
Righteous.
Or righteous. Righteous. Yeah. Righteous.
Righteous. Okay, it's still the same thing. All right. Pleased to meet you, man. Tell me about you, my brother. How long have you been here? What are you doing here?
Well, thank you, man. Well, this is a silent protest by the Khoisan people that has been happening since 2017. But this camp was set permanently here on 30th November 2018. So here we have four main objectives that are included in the memorandum that was handed over to the government. The first one is for the Khoisan people to be recognized here in South Africa as the first people, as the first humans. Please continue. So the four main objectives that we are here for, as I said, that it's a silent protest. First is for the Khoisan people to be recognized officially here in South Africa as the first people, you know. And the second one is the inclusion of our languages. Same as I greeted you, we would love to have the language included in the school curriculum and made official within the official list of languages in South Africa. Then the third issue is that now the Khoisan people are nature people. We live in, sustaining from nature. We cultivate our own food, we hunt, but at this time we find ourselves squashed in camp flats in a lifestyle that does not accommodate us. We cannot hunt. When we try to hunt, we are told that we are trespassing. Yeah. So we are bringing forward the issue of land. We would love to have a space we call home where we can practice our culture. And the last one is as a way of stripping the Khoisan of their identity here in South Africa. Our people are now called colours. So we also would love the government to address that, because it is a derogatory term to call somebody colored. It doesn't classify you as a human being. It says you're not from God. It doesn't come with any culture. So those are the things that we are fighting for.
Wow, interesting. So you said something very important, bro. You said the Khoisans were the first people in South Africa. Can you take us back on that? How is that so? How did it come about?
Yeah, you see, that is a hugely debatable point to put across, and it will also explain the reason why we believe the government has been reluctant to actually recognize that. But when you trace, our history, there were human beings here when the Anfan Rubeks came. And when you trace the movement of the Bantu migration coming from the central part of Africa, and when you also go to the cave paintings and the rock arts that were left by the Khoisan people, it shows you, it dates back to years that the Bantu were not yet here and the Anfan Rebeks were not yet here. So that shows that the Khoisan people were the first people here, but not only in South Africa, in the southern part of Africa, because back then there were no borders to start with. That is why, and then humans were nomadic by culture, meaning they were constantly moving, and so were the Khoisan people from Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, and mostly here in South Africa.
It is indeed quite a debatable issue, guys, because I know we as the Bantu, especially the Xhosas, we believe that we've been here long before the Basutus and other brothers came from, who hailed from the upper Sadek parts of the southern regions. But guys, we are here. It's not about debate. I want to learn more about my brother's history. This is quite interesting, man. My brother, you look very healthy. You look quite strong. I mean, if you look at my physique and you look at his physique, it's like you're lifting weights. I mean, well, this is the body we normally attain when we do some physical exercises. How did you become this nicely built, my brother?
Beautiful, man. Yeah, you see, we live in a world that allows us to be free. So lifting weights is some of the things that, as human beings, as you are somebody who's passionate about health and fitness, and us being the Khoisan people, health and fitness is we don't take it lightly. So back where we come from, we have large fields where we work every time. We fetch wood, we go and carry stuff all the time. But now we find ourselves in the city as a way of maintaining that physique. We have to use a little bit of weights to keep our body in shape. Yes, we do exercise, but mostly this comes from working the land, eating healthy, and doing the chores, the house chores, or whatever I can think of. Like I mentioned, fetching wood, chopping wood, fetching water, going to the rivers and stuff like that.
So this is built by nature.
Yes.
You can say it like that. And it's not only you, this is your people, if I can put it in that way. Was guys, if you don't know this, what we find quite interesting about the Khoisan people is that they not only look this handsome and this good, but they age long. If we are to look at the Xhosas and you look at the Khoisans or the Basutu, the Zulu guys, if you are to group us all, you'll find that the people who live longer in the land of the living is actually the Khoisans. And he mentioned something that they like to keep things natural. They are more friendly and more accustomed with the nature. So they don't defile their habits with worldly newly customs. So they mostly prefer a healthy meals that are, we're talking about fresh meat. When they talk about fresh meat, they don't go to a butchery to look for meat, but they go in the field to hunt, of which now with the laws and how things have been changing, they are now considered as poachers if they go hunting, yet it is in their culture and their birthright to actually go out and hunt, which is the main reason why they have been living longer, and they are still living longer in the land of the living. My brother, I don't know, did I cut you short? Did I say something that maybe spiked your interest there?
Well, no, nothing much really. It's to us, it's not about isolating and saying this longevity thing of saying we live a healthy lifestyle is only for the Khoisan. And I mean, in the modern day, we understand that we are all intermarried and interconnected. For our genes are now mixed. We are all mixed with the all the other tribes that are around us. That is why even our coat of arms says diversified people unite. So it is something that is African. It is an African thing. So to put it exactly, it doesn't matter if you are Xhosa, Zulu, Tswana, Pedi, Khoi, whatever. Us as people of this brown skin, we have certain qualities that we came with in this world that the colonizers tried to make us forget. So it's about tapping into and remembering who you are, but trotting in on the hands, on the feet, on the footsteps of our ancestors, who are the first people, the Khoisan. So here we are saying, remember the ways of your ancestors to get, the keys of the future.
Okay, wow, interesting. So by you being here, this is a very strategic point. You are not just in Pretoria, but you are in the union buildings, and this is where actually the offices of the President of South Africa are based. So I believe it's a strategic move. And what made you to choose this specific point, and what voice or message are you pushing forth, not only to tourists, as there is a lot of tourism, tourists who actually visit the area, but to the president at large? Are they aware that you are here, and is there any sort of benefit that you are getting, or the Khoisan people are getting, by you being here and you having a voice that perhaps reaches even the ears of the president?
Beautiful. Yeah, the question on the issue of choosing this specific point to come and present this protest. We are spiritual beings to start with, and whatever we do, we take the instructions from the universe, we listen and we follow, we are guided accordingly. So being here obviously is what it was a spiritual strategic point of choice by the ancestors who are guiding us. And I mean, the president is here, the statue of the great man Nelson Mandela is here, and as you mentioned, people from all over the world visit us, and we get to tell the story directly to the people. That's all we need.
All right. So this is all about a protest.
It is
in sending a voice, getting a message across. Wow.
It is, yes. We do it silently, and we allow the universe to bring whoever needs to hear. Like, everyone comes, and then it just continues.
All right. So it's a way of promoting your culture and making sure that, even though, if I can say, in South Africa, it is quite known. We know quite a lot about the Khoisan, but you barely meet Khoisan people, even on the streets, or if you actually meet them, some have come to a point of adapting to the Western culture, just like me. I'm not dressed in my traditional attire. I have adopted the Western attires. Yet the Khoisan people, especially such as yourself, are still holding on to that culture. So I think this is a way that you are using, a platform you are using, to actually get that message across, that we are still there, and we are still relevant, and we still have an importance, an important role in the governmental systems of the country.
Yeah, it is one of those things again, and what defines a Khoisan it is about the genes, the DNA, the way of thinking, the way you interact with people. At the end of the day, it's not about how you are dressed, and we are free people. Some of us took this decision as a way of living a life of protest, that wherever I go, people get to ask me, then I get to answer. But there are some of us who still continue wearing clothes, and we embrace that and say, being Khoisan is about understanding what it means. We are love beings. When we speak of nature, we speak of vibrating in that frequency of love all the time. We understand that living in harmony with nature and everyone means doing that with love, and that is the system that we want to bring to South Africa and to the world, of saying we are passing in this world. There's more than enough for everyone. Let us ditch this system of accumulating for only ourselves and not thinking about everyone. That is what we want to bring.
Wow, amazing. My brother, it's such an honor to actually talk to you. Really, Samuel. Guys, I came here not knowing that I'll actually make a video and meet such a remarkable young man, and it is indeed a great blessing from God who has made this happen. My brother, I'd like to see more. I think there's a community here, there's a people. I don't know, would you show us around?
Well, yeah, it's just a reception area where we receive people when they come in groups. Nothing much, really. Just a few pictures to remind people, those who might not have an idea how some of our people look.
Wow.
Just this. Otherwise, yeah.
Oh, this is amazing. Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing. So I know this gentleman is very famous in South Africa.
Yeah.
Even on adverts. What's his name again?
Well, I do not know his name personally. These are mostly the pictures you can easily find on the internet, and they were put by the king. The only people I know personally here are these. The rest are simply pictures you can easily find on the internet. And as I said, the nation is very big, from Namibia, Botswana, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Eswatini, and mostly here.
Wow, wow, wow. Amazing. Amazing. This is amazing. So, what else can we see? You said these were put by the king, though. Which king was it? Is it the king of the Khoisan?
Yes, here in South Africa. So here there has been, you see, within the traditional house of chiefdoms, within the Khoisan culture, they are chiefs, headsmen, and kings. So during the course of this struggle, the king was coronated to become the king of all the kings of the Khoisan nation. You know, like the paramount chief. Okay. Per se, that is the man who is there.
Wow. Also, the kingship and the kingdom still have relevance amongst the chieftaincies in South Africa. Thank you.
Well, no, not recognized officially. That's one of the reasons why we came here for that. But within the privacy of the men who are chiefs, they know and recognize each other within the Khoisan community, but it's not recognized at a national level. Okay. Those are the things that we are fighting for. We have systems that are already set up, but not the monarchy system is not recognized by government, okay, like the Zulu monarchy per se.
Okay. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Guys, we are learning. We have become students of thoughts. You know, they say the best knowledge that you get is not only the ones you get in the university, but the street knowledge, what you learn outside, can actually shape you and mold you to become a great person. And this is what I'm getting now. I'm being shaped, I'm being molded, guys, to be a person of history, a person of character, and a person who strives for what he believes for. Guys, let's see more. Let's see more. This is quite interesting. Wow. This is amazing. This is amazing.
So one of the other things that usually, or first, that is the flag of the indigenous people of the world. Mm-hmm. So this represents all the four corners of the world: the east, the west, the south, and the north. Mm-hmm. And the diversity of all those aboriginals, as you would see, the colors are also different for a reason. You would also see that, there are, you see, in this word it also tells us that there are four indigenous people, tribes, nations that are there, which is this would indicate, according to our study, the us, the brown, the so-called, the Chinese, the Indians, and the whites.
Okay. So this in a way puts everyone in unity together to say these are one people.
We all came from these foundations. It's either you're black, you are Indian, you are Chinese, Korean, whatever, Asian or white. Mm-hmm. That's what it is. And whatever mixed happened, but all we came from. So there are original people, the aboriginals, or the first people from each and every nation. This is the flag of the assembly of the indigenous people.
Interesting. Wow.
And you also notice that those symbols also, they are speaking something.
And I was actually going to ask you that, because I'm seeing the symbols. Yeah. What are these symbols? I see the I don't know. Okay, I'm more familiar with this.
Yeah, that tells us that's home. That's us.
Yeah.
That is Africa. This is us. You see, this is the white love, and the triangle is meaning, up is above, so is below. But here you see something else, and it's also communicating. You see, and we have had different interpreters interpreting it, and it's also what you see as well. Spirituality is deep, but this is symbolic communication.
Wow, wow, wow. This is amazing. I'm seeing some zodiac signs as well.
Yeah.
Especially on the Chinese, the white area people.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's see more, guys.
The coat of arms one of the things, again, that we say officialize the language in South Africa is already used in the South African coat of arms, but they can't even pronounce it correctly. It speaks of diversified people uniting. It says
My goodness,
you know,
I would have said Ike.
You see, that is not an I. That is not an I. It's an exclamation mark. It means people.
Wow.
So the K is silent. It's and this is us. As you see, that brotherhood.
Yeah. Wow. On the coat of arms, they are there, guys. They form quite a strong landmark in the existence of what unifies us and what describes us from a coat of arms perspective. Amazing. Whoa, I need to learn this language, man. How do you say unity in your language?
Well, on that, one thing that we also need to remind people is that even ourselves, we are also going through the learning process. First is because that we grew up in communities that the language was not taught at school, not spoken. At home you find out most of us, we are mixed from different tribes. That is why we only have this lady remaining in South Africa called Oma Katarina, who is the one who can fluently speak this language, the new language. Wow. So we are preserving her.
The new language.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's a living museum for us, and we are really, trying to preserve the language.
Hey, bro. Okay.
So on that,
Much love,
you
man.
asked, I do not know. I have to be honest. I only know a few like greetings, like we say "Kaikes" when we are going, we say "Kaikakure," and when we are saying "Good morning," "Kaikas." A few. Yeah, we're still in the learning process, but there are some of us who can speak more.
So since this language, like, it's quite rare to find, and even in universities, is there an initiative that the Khoisan people have taken to actually make sure that the language is preserved, the language is documented, and the language is learnable, even for people who have no background of it, people who are interested in studying? Because you've got foreign nationals, for example, who come to South Africa, such as your Chinese, Indians, Americans, who are quite intrigued and interested in learning the language. Is it something that they can actually find at University of Pretoria or at Witwatersrand to say, I want to actually enroll in learning and mastering the language and the culture of the Khoisan people? Is it found in their academic work?
Well, yes, we are now, as I said, we are working on the books already in translative books, like dictionaries. Also, the Pan-African South African Language Board, as you see here, has actually now is working on also producing. But for it to have the rightful effect, the language has to be made official in the land, and it has to be included in the school curriculum so that people learn it and understand it, because it is a secretive language. Wow. Most of our languages are secretive. The cliques are very secretive, so it has to be learned for people to understand.
Secretive, like that? What do you mean secretive?
It's I would say, to put it straight up, it will be the language of the gods, or sacred language. Sacred and secret. It command it. When you speak it, you are vibrating the same with the nature around you. It is the language that was spoken by the first people. When you'd imagine now, the creation of the language was mostly when the ancestors would observe. Let's say you observe, you're sitting in nature and a drop of water falls to what do you call a pool? It goes like, so the language was created like that. Wow. So it is a sacred and secretive language of the gods, because at one point in Africa we were all gods, whatever they call it, we were all royal. It is a royal language. That is why the system does not want to officialize it, because they know the truth. They know the truth that it is the ancient and sacred language that will bring key to the freedom of humanity.
Wow. The language of the gods. I like that.
Well, you see, we don't like to play with those terms, but hey,
fact is a fact.
Yeah.
Actually, the Bible calls us, ye are God's little children.
Yes.
So even God himself, he calls us gods. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. Embrace being a god. You are a god, and stand with pride and face the world knowing that you've got authority. You know, you've got a voice, and when you speak it, it comes to existence.
Yes.
You see, I like the genesis of the language, that it, from just a drop of water falling, as it makes that sound, which is that sound that they are using, that has been added in their language, you know, which is so difficult now. You know, for others, that, and let me tell you something profound about that small drop of water. You know, a wise man once said, if you notice under a tap, if there was a small tap here and a rock underneath, there's always that small hole that appears where the water keeps hitting, where the water keeps making the sound. So if you notice that, but if you touch the water, it's so soft, it's so gentle, it can't do any harm on that rock. So it shows that the power is not in the intensity of the water to actually strike a rock and cause a crack or a problem, but it is in the consistency of the flow. That consistency eventually brings forth weathering, eventually it brings forth destruction and a chaotic movement. So I like how this language is, you know. We may hear it, you may ignore it at first, but because they are so consistent, they bring force. Like now, this is a rally, it's a movement, what they are doing. And this movement, it may look like no one is seeing, they are far from everybody, but they are strategic. With time, you will definitely see a crack on the rock. With time, you will see that rock being opened and destroyed by small things such as water, by small things such as the movement they are doing. So my brother, this is just to say, these are just words of encouragement, man, to say, keep on keeping on what you are doing. We admire it. The world is aware. I will post this on all platforms, social media, on my YouTube channel. And guys, you need to come and visit my brother Sam here. You need to come and see him.
Yeah.
And Tabang, we've got Tabang. Let me show Tabang behind the camera, man. I've got Tabang there.
We also have Madiba, the grandson of Nelson Mandela. You know, we have him here with us.
He's also here?
As we say, the whole thing is about bringing Africa together.
Wow, he's the grandson of Nelson Mandela?
Madiba is outside.
No,
He's outside.
For people to know that what to expect when they come visit us.
Wow, wow.
As I said, this is a global movement, but
Yeah.
Africa stands in a very strategic position in the world, because when you trace the evolution of mankind, it all started in Africa and here in the southern part. So people like Nelson Mandela played a very crucial role in the upbringing of humanity. So now they have passed on, but they left the reins with the grandson that we have here.
Wow, wow.
So, yeah.
So we've got the grandson of Nelson Mandela. Just imagine. So guys, I mean, your move is very strategic, you know. So you've brought in you are descendants of great leaders, and you have grouped yourselves to have one voice and to say, let us keep the culture going. Let us keep the culture relevant.
It's all about the one love, my brother.
It's all about one love.
Unity.
Yes, my brother.
Strength. Division is weakness.
Yes.
That's a
Africa must
Swahili
come
proverb.
back. Africa must come back to her strength. It's time. All we can say is time. Whoever feels called to do what you're doing or whatever, they must know. They must not question it. It's time. Our ancestors are powerful like that. They are so telepathic. Let's work together and bring Africa together. It's time.
Wow, wow. Last question. A lot of people are moving from South Africa to other foreign nations, and in search for a better standards of living, in search for improved financial capabilities. Also, others also have maybe a desire to say they want the world to see their culture and to know them. As a result, they decide to actually take the culture to the world. See, if the world do not come to them, they decide to actually relocate to the United States of America, to the European nations, and bring their culture there. Is this something you desire to do, something you are thinking of actually also doing, to say, you know what, why only have relevance to the eyes of those who managed to step in the land of the living here, in the motherland? Or is it something you decide, or you are thinking in the future to actually deploy certain people to go and start a new life abroad, but who will still carry your values and your culture?
Wow. So as I said earlier, that we have always been nomadic. Humans are supposed to be free to move, because it is when you travel that you grow spiritually, socially, economically. As you say, people are searching for greener pastures. So it is something that we want to actually bring freedom when it comes to it, because now the issue of borders is what is restricting us. Now we have seen leaders capitalizing on taxing heavily on their citizens when they try to acquire travel documents and stuff, and this, we are actually slaves of the system. We say we are searching greener pastures and money, but the whole thing, we are trying to fit the system as much as we can. So what we are saying, as much as we need freedom of movement, but we need to change a few setups that seeks to keep us oppressed. Freedom of movement is no question. We must be free. No, especially here in Africa, the border issue must be really reviewed. People must be free because we are one people.
Wow, wow. This is interesting. So, any last words now, my dear brother, to people who are watching, my subscribers here, my family?
Coming soon is the One Love celebration on the 1st of September, 2024. So yeah, there'll be live performance.
Okay, thank you so much.
Hola.
All right, hola, bro. Yo guys, what's happening? This is your boy here, the village boy in the building, Sia, the traveler. Guys, I am in Pretoria in South Africa. Not just anywhere in South Africa, but right at the Union Buildings, guys, which is the White House of South Africa. It's been a minute, guys, since I've seen you. Last time you guys saw me on video, I was in India, and now your boy is right here in South Africa by the grace of God. So your boy is looking a bit rough, guys. Things are happening. So I need to do something about this. You know, last time I was touched well is when I was in India. Now your boy is back in the motherland. My skin is reacting and saying whoa to the extreme heats of SA. I had a wonderful interview with Sam, who is a Khoisan. He just gave me quite a rich history about his culture, their traditions, their ways, and why they are here at the Union Building, the protest that they are busy with. I hope you guys have loved that interview. And now this is your boy signing out. Please guys, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're heading all the way to 10K. So let's go guys, keep on subscribing until we meet again. Peace. Love you.